The worst moment of my life happened at 2:47 p.m. on a Saturday in front of 200 people at my grandmother's 85th birthday party. My sister stood at the microphone, tears streaming down her face, thanking everyone who'd helped plan her special surprise for Grandma. The party I'd spent 6 months organizing, the deposits I'd put on my credit card, the vendors I'd called every week. But the worst part wasn't watching her take credit for everything I'd done. It was watching my mother smile and nod because she'd helped her do it. Let me back up. I'm the middle child in a family of 3 daughters. Growing up, I learned early that keeping the peace meant staying quiet. My older sister, Bethany, was the golden child, captain of everything, straight A's, the daughter my parents paraded at every function. My younger sister, Fiona, was the baby who could do no wrong. And me? I was the reliable one, the one who didn't cause problems. When I was 16, I planned my mother's surprise 40th birthday party. Bethany showed up late and gave a speech about how much Mom meant to her. Everyone cried. No one mentioned that I'd baked the cake at 3 a.m. or that I'd saved for 3 months to rent the venue. When I was 23, I helped Fiona move across the state for her new job. I took 2 days off work, rented a truck, and packed every box. At her housewarming party, she thanked everyone who supported her big move, and specifically named our parents and Bethany, who'd sent a gift basket. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself I was being petty. But then Grandma turned 80. Grandma Rose was my person. When I was 10 and feeling invisible at home, she told me, "The quiet ones see everything, honey. Your time will come." So when her 80th birthday approached, I wanted to make it perfect. I started planning in January. I created a spreadsheet with 47 tasks. I called the botanical garden she loved and booked their event space for July, 6 months out. I spent weekends calling her old friends, her former colleagues from the library, people she'd lost touch with over the years. I designed custom invitations with photos from every decade of her life. I found her favorite bakery from 1973, still operating, and ordered her favorite lemon cake with lavender frosting. I hired a string quartet because she'd once mentioned loving live music. The deposit alone was $3,200. I put it on my credit card. I told my family about it in February. My mom said, "That's lovely, dear. Let me know if you need help." I sent updates every few weeks. Radio silence. Then, 3 weeks before the party, everything changed. I was addressing the last of the invitations when my phone rang. Bethany. "Hey, so Mom and I were talking, and we wanted to help with Grandma's party. You've done so much already. Let us take some things off your plate." My chest warmed. Finally. That would be amazing. What did you have in mind? Well, we were thinking we could handle the day of coordination. You know, make sure everything runs smoothly, greet guests, that kind of thing. Sure, that would actually really help. Perfect. And maybe we should be the ones to give the main speech. Since we'll be running things, it might make more sense to have us at the microphone. Something cold settled in my stomach. The main speech? Just to thank everyone for coming and introducing the video you made. Don't worry, we'll mention all your hard work. I should have said no. I should have seen it coming. Instead, I said, "Okay," because that's what I always did. The morning of the party, I arrived at the botanical garden at 7 a.m. The florist was late. The caterer had the wrong dietary information for 3 guests. The string quartet's violinist was sick, and they'd brought a substitute who didn't know half the songs. I spent 4 hours solving problems, adjusting timelines, and calming vendors. Bethany and my mother arrived at 11:30, 30 minutes before guests, wearing matching coral dresses they'd clearly planned together. Bethany was carrying a leather portfolio. "Everything looks amazing," Mom said, kissing my cheek. "You've outdone yourself." For a moment, I felt seen. Then, Bethany opened her portfolio and pulled out printed programs, Programs I'd never seen before. Programs that listed her and Mom as event coordinators and me under special thanks. "We made these last night," she said brightly. "Aren't they cute?" My hands went numb. The party was beautiful. Grandma cried when she saw her friends. The quartet recovered beautifully. The cake was perfect. And then came the speeches. Bethany took the microphone at 2:47 p.m. "I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who made today possible," she began, her voice cracking with emotion. "Planning a party like this takes so much work, and I'm so grateful to everyone who helped." She talked about calling the venue. She talked about designing the invitations. She talked about finding Grandma's old friends. Everything I did. Everything. And of course, I have to thank my amazing mom, who was by my side through every step of this journey. Mom, couldn't have done this without you. My mother stood up, dabbing her eyes, and joined Bethany at the microphone. "Bethany, you've made your grandmother so happy today," Mom said. "I'm so proud of the woman you've become." They hugged. People applauded. I sat at my table, invisible, my face burning. Fiona leaned over and whispered, "That's messed up." It was the first time anyone in my family had ever said it out loud. I didn't say anything at the party. I smiled, I cut the cake, I helped clean up while Bethany and Mom posed for photos with Grandma. But when I got home that night, I opened my laptop and did something I'd never done before. I took screenshots. Every text message about the party, every email confirmation, every receipt in my name. I documented 6 months of planning in a 23-page PDF. Then I sent it to the family group chat with one sentence. Since there seems to be confusion about who planned Grandma's party, my phone exploded. "Bethany, why are you being so dramatic? We never said we did everything." "Mom, this is really hurtful. We were just trying to help. Is this how you treat family?" "Fiona, holy shit, you really did everything." I stared at my phone, my hands shaking. Then I called Grandma. "I know, sweetheart," Grandma said quietly. "I've always known." "What?" "Your mother did the same thing to me for years. She'd take credit for things I did, twist stories to make herself look better. When I finally confronted her about it, she cried and said I was attacking her. Your grandfather told me to let it go, that it wasn't worth the fight." My throat closed. "Why didn't you ever say anything?" "Because I learned to stop expecting recognition from people who don't want to see you. But honey, I see you. I've always seen you." "I don't know what to do, Grandma." "You stand up, not for the credit, for yourself. Because if you don't, this will be your whole life. They'll take and take until there's nothing left." That night, I barely slept. But by morning, I knew what I had to do. I requested a family meeting. No group chat, face to face. We met at my parents' house on a Saturday morning. My father was there too. He usually stayed out of sister drama, but I'd insisted. I brought my laptop and a printed copy of my documentation. "I want to talk about what happened at Grandma's party," I said. My voice shook, but I kept going. "Bethany, you took credit for 6 months of work I did. Mom, you supported her in doing it, and I need to understand why." "You're overreacting," Bethany said immediately. "We acknowledged your help. I have the receipts, every single one. $3,200 in deposits in my name. 47 phone calls logged with vendors. I have emails proving I designed the invitations, booked the venue, found the guests. What exactly did you do?" Silence. "We helped coordinate the day," Mom said stiffly. "That's not nothing. You arrived 30 minutes before guests and handed out programs that erased my work." "This is what I'm talking about," Bethany said. her voice rising. "You're so sensitive about everything. We can't even try to help without you making it about yourself." "I'm making it about myself?" I felt something crack open in my chest. I have been invisible in this family my entire life. I have planned and organized and helped and supported every single one of you, and I have never, not once, asked for recognition. But you couldn't even let me have this one thing. My father shifted uncomfortably. "Sweetheart, maybe—" "No," I cut him off. "Dad, you don't get to stay neutral anymore. This isn't a sister drama. This is a pattern, and you've enabled it by pretending not to see it." I took a breath and delivered the speech I'd practiced 100 times in my head. "Here's what's going to happen. Bethany, you're going to send a message to the family group chat, the one with all the extended family who were at the party. And you're going to tell them the truth, that I planned Grandma's party and you took credit for it. Mom, you're going to back her up." "Absolutely not," Bethany said. "That's humiliating." "You're right, it is. Now you know how I felt." "If we do this, everyone will think we're terrible," Mom said, her eyes welling up. "Is that what you want? To turn the family against us?" "I want you to tell the truth. If the truth makes you look bad, that's not my fault. It's yours." "And if we don't?" Bethany's arms were crossed. "Then I'm done. No more family dinners. No more planning Mom's birthday or helping Fiona move or organizing holidays. I will show up to mandatory events, be polite, and leave. You will have the relationship with me that you've earned." My mother's face crumpled. "You can't mean that." "I do. I'm not asking for an apology, though that would be nice. I'm asking for the truth. That's it. If you can't give me that, then you're showing me exactly how much I matter to you." The room was silent except for the ticking of the kitchen clock. Finally, my father spoke. "They'll do it," he said quietly. "Right now." Bethany typed the message with shaking hands. Mom added her confirmation. I watched them send it before I left. The family group chat exploded. Grandma sent a single message. "I'm proud of you, sweetheart." 3 aunts called me privately. "We always wondered," one said, "but we didn't think it was our place to say anything." For 2 weeks, I didn't hear from Bethany or my mother. Then Mom called.
"I've been thinking a lot about what you said," she began. Her voice was small. "And about what Grandma told me after the party. She said I did to her what I let Bethany do to you. And she was right. I don't know why I did it. Maybe because Bethany reminded me of myself. And you were always so capable. I think I took that for granted." It wasn't a perfect apology, but it was a start. Bethany took longer. 6 weeks later, she sent a text. "Can we talk?" We met for coffee. She didn't cry or make excuses. "I was jealous," she said simply. "You're good at things without even trying, and I've always had to fight to be seen. So when you did something amazing, some sick part of me wanted to take it. I'm sorry." I'm not going to tell you we're all healed and perfect now. We're not, but we're trying. I set boundaries. I stopped planning things without acknowledgement. I started saying no. And slowly, very slowly, my family started seeing me. Not because I stayed quiet, because I finally spoke up. If you're reading this and you're the invisible one in your family, the one who does everything and gets nothing, you're not crazy. You're not petty. You're not too sensitive. You deserve to be seen. And sometimes the only way to be seen is to refuse to be invisible anymore.